Think of luxury watches and chances are high that the first brand that comes to mind is Rolex. The time-tested watch brand has become synonymous with precision and perfection. Today we take a look at the history of Rolex as it evolved into the big brand it has become today. Stay tuned for we will reveal the names of two famous mountaineers who wore a Rolex on their expedition. Before proceeding, do subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos. Origins. The beginnings of Rolex, as we know, it got back to 1905 when founder Hans Wilsdorf had a desire to perfect the art of making a wristwatch. These days, having a wristwatch is something we all take for granted, but remember that we are talking about the early years of the 20th century when people still depended entirely on pocket watches. In 1905, Wilsdorf founded his watch company at the tender age of 24 years in London. It was named Rolex, a name that Wilsdorf liked as it was short and easy to remember. Wilsdorf worked day and night at perfecting the wristwatch design. His efforts paid off in 1910 when a Rolex became the first wristwatch in the world to receive a Swiss certificate of chronometric precision. Following this achievement, Rolex soon started gaining recognition, and Wilsdorf was able to shift bases to Geneva, a city known for watchmaking. 1926 to 1945. 1926 was a big year for Rolex. It marked the creation of the first waterproof and dustproof watch in the world. The watch was called Oyster and was tested by swimmer Mercedes Gleitze, who swam across the English Channel wearing the watch that stayed in perfect working condition by the end of a 10-hour-long swim. Rolex was indeed making waves in the market. Again becoming a pioneer in watchmaking, Rolex once again broke the mold in 1931. The company created the world's first self-winding mechanism with a perpetual rotor. This invention is now the foundation of every modern watch since then. Are you amazed yet to discover the journey of Rolex? If you like this story and want more similar kinds of origin stories, let us know in the comments below. Moving back to our story, we now look at the years between 1953 to 1967. In the 1950s, Rolex raised the bar of watchmaking higher than ever before. The new series of watches that came out were now tougher and cutting edge. They didn't just tell time, they had an entire range of inbuilt tools that were suited for serious activities like deep-sea diving, mountain climbing, and all other kinds of scientific exploration. Now it's time for a truly amazing fact. Did you know that in 1953, when Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first climbers to reach the peak of Mount Everest, they famously had a Rolex perpetual watch with them? This watch then technically became the first watch to also reach the summit of the world's highest mountain. Rolex achievements as a brand simply kept getting bigger and better. A few years down the line, Rolex soared to further heights with the launch of the GMT Master, a watch that soon became the official timepiece of leading airlines such as Pan American. The unique feature of this watch was its two-tone red and blue bezel, which distinguished night and day hours. In 1967, the Oyster Perpetual Sea Dweller was launched, which would stay waterproof up to an outstanding depth of 610 meters. Rolex was now simply unstoppable. Before we take a look at the final phase of the Rolex journey, it is time for our audience question. What is your favorite luxury watch brand? Do let us know in the comments below. As always, we really look forward to hearing from you. The 70s to modern times. There have been several leading watch brands that have entered the market over the past couple of decades. Yet, Rolex has not lost its charm. It continues to be synonymous with watchmaking and still raises the benchmark higher and higher. In 1976, to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Oyster, Rolex launched its prestigious Rolex Awards for Enterprise that were meant to honor people around the world who took on challenges that helped humanity. 2 years later, in 1978, the Sea Dweller 4000 was launched. The super watch stayed waterproof up to 4,000 feet and once again showed Rolex breaking barriers and setting the bar of watchmaking unbelievably higher. Fast forward a couple of years later to the 90s, and the brand was still going strong. The Oyster Perpetual Yacht Master became a signature watch among the sailing community. Rolex also became a sponsor for some major offshore boating events across the world. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron descended to the depths of the world's deepest spot, the Mariana Trench, thus becoming the first person to ever do so. We all know Cameron as the director of the Oscar-winning love story Titanic, yet few know the adventurer within the man. What is even more amazing is that Cameron was accompanied on this solo trip by a Rolex watch that too made history by descending so far. A legendary moment indeed for the man and his watch. There, you have it guys. That is the history of one of the world's most iconic brands whose name is truly synonymous with its product. Think of a watch and you truly think of a Rolex. Like what you saw? Do support us by hitting the like button. Comment below and let us know the ones you're eager to catch. Hope you enjoyed our video and do not forget to share. For more great content, subscribe to our channel. See you next time.